In this video class, I'm going to show you how to calculate NPV, IRR, and PI using the TI-8489. If you have an HP or a TI BA2 Plus, watch the other two videos. In this calculator, let's do number A, apps, finance, and then option 7 is NPV. The NPV, the syntax is you input the cost of capital 10%, do not input 0.10, put a comma. If you forget a comma, you'll get an error. And then you have to input the initial investment, which is negative 42,000, put another comma, then open a bracket like that, and then you input all of the cash flows, 14, comma, 14,000, comma, 14,000, and you have to do that 5 times. Or when you have, well, let me do it for here, comma 14,000, comma 14,000, comma 14,000, and then close the bracket, close the parentheses, press enter. So the NPV is 11,071. Or if you want to use the frequency option, do apps, finance, 7 for NPV, 10%, comma, the investment is 42,000, comma, open the bracket, 14,000, close the bracket, open a new comma, a new bracket, and you have that cash flow 5 times. Second, close the parentheses, enter, and you get exactly the same answer. Now, something that is very handy in this calculator to know, if you want to recalculate that NPV at a different cost of capital, let's say 9%, you don't have to input all the cash flows again. Before you do anything, you do second, enter, and the calculator puts the equation on the screen once again. So you can go up and then make that 9%, press enter, and it's going to recalculate the NPV at 9%. If I do second, enter, it puts the equation again. I can go back to 10%. Now when you type something, it's going to replace the old text, so you have to do second, insert, and then 0, and then enter, and then you have your NPV. Let me multiply this times 1,000. So the NPV is 11,071. To do the PI index, you have to do NPV plus the initial investment, enter, and then over the initial investment, enter, and the PI is 1.26. To do IRR, apps, finance, and it's option 8 in my calculator. And in this case, you follow the same syntax with the exception that you skip the rate. So you go straight into the initial investment, 42, comma, open the bracket, cash flow 14,000, close, comma, frequency, enter, IRR 19.86%. And then for project B, we do apps, finance, NPV, we're using 10%, comma, second, no, there's no second, the initial investment, which is 45,000, comma, now we can open the bracket, 28,000, comma, 12,000, comma, 10,000. Here you can do 10,000 3 times, or close the bracket, comma, new bracket, and then put the frequencies. 1 times 28,000, comma, 1 times 12,000, comma, 3 times the 10,000, close bracket, close parentheses, and NPV 10,924. And remember, if you do second entry, you can go to the cost of capital and replace the 10% with any number that you want. To do the PI is the NPV plus the initial investment, and then over the initial investment, 1.24. And IRR, apps, finance, IRR, and 45, comma, list the cash flows, 28, 12, comma, 10, close, and a new bracket for the frequencies, 1, 3, and the IRR is 21.65%.